it's still really an extremely chaotic scene out here. You can see the situation down the street where they are still fighting this fire. This is certainly the worst damage we've seen tonight, some of the worst that I've seen in a very, very long time, and I've seen a lot of damage in my career. Take a look at this. Can you imagine this? The film for Rogue One itself is more than 2 miles long. We are going to talk to one of the fans. This is what I like to call a super fan. Take a look here at Kimberly and check out her outfit. Kimberly, this is awesome. You are all decked out here tonight. How big of a Lightning fan are you? Yeah, Veronica, it's really a very chaotic situation out here. We are a little distance away, but really not too far, so I can give you a pretty good look at this. Take a look at the scene behind me. We are literally standing behind a wall of police officers. There are at least 24 police officers out here, law enforcement officers, monitoring this situation. What is happening right now is that these protesters are in the middle of the road. They're in a very busy road. This is 78th Street out here in Hillsborough County. It is a very highly traveled road. They are now in the middle of the road, completely blocking it. And Tim is going to move down and show you. You can see there is also a line of police cars out here because they have basically had to shut this road down for a good 2 blocks because of this huge protest. The sheriff has started meeting with community leaders to try to calm all of this down and assure them that this will be a transparent investigation, but some people want more. They gather in the streets, marching, shouting, and holding up signs calling for justice for Lavania Riggins.
Only thing we asking the sheriff department to do, to come forward and talk to us, to let us know why.
But rage in this community is rising to a riot level. It erupted Thursday night with rocks being thrown, street signs knocked down, and trash being set on fire. It's a community literally burning with anger.
So we need some peace. Oh, this is gonna get real out here, for real. We need some peace. We need some justice. It's gonna get real.
Riggins was killed when the SWAT team was serving a drug-related search warrant at his house. A deputy fired 1 shot. Afterwards, investigators found out Riggins was unarmed. Neighbors are outraged.
You perceived him as an immediate threat. If you perceive me as an immediate threat right now, is it my clothes? Is it the color of my skin, my hat, my hair? I don't understand that. And until we get some kind of answers, I don't know what to tell you.
The sheriff's office is promising a transparent investigation.
The decision is going to be a difficult one to be made on the deputy's perception of his threat and what was made in a split second.
But Riggins' friends feel like he was targeted, and there is a strong lack of trust.
Because everybody wants answers. If you hide stuff in the dirt, it's going to come to light eventually, always, with anybody. It's going to come up.
Black pastors and community leaders are urging people to be patient. They say violence isn't the answer.
It does not serve anyone good when you go out and you destroy the property, especially in your own neighborhood.
Protesters don't plan to stop. Some say they will try to keep it peaceful, but they're also determined to speak their piece. And tonight we have seen those protesters getting right up in these deputies' faces, yelling, screaming at them, cussing at them. But the deputies have not taken any action tonight. They told me that as long as things stay non-violent, they're okay with all this. But that does change, of course, if things become violent like last night. Last night they did arrest 5 people out here for inciting a riot. Reporting live in Hillsborough County, Laurie Davison, Bay News 9. At Tampa International Airport, emotions constantly rise and fall, with arrivals and departures, comings and goings.
Whenever you're in an airport, it's extreme happiness and sadness. I think that, there's so many emotions that go on here.
Joanne Farrell's mother, Teresa Simmons, sits in the middle of it all, unaware that her emotions are about to soar.
It's been like a little bit of a roller coaster.
Somebody has been out there all these years that we've never known.
This is a big surprise for Mom. I tried to keep it under wraps for as long as I could.
Now, coming in on JetBlue right on time is someone their mom's been waiting to meet for 57 years.
It's me. Oh my God. I love you, baby.
Oh my God, you're so beautiful.
Roseanne Lombardi is the daughter Teresa was forced to give up for adoption when she was born.
I couldn't believe it, Rosario. I just like, what are you doing here? What's wrong with you?
Oh my God.
The reunion came about after Teresa's family did some digging into their ancestry. Roseanne says when they reached out to her, it answered lifelong questions.
I always wondered if she thought of me, if she was alive, why did this happen? And here she is. It's like, oh my God, it's like nothing I ever dreamed of.
Teresa prayed for this day to come.
And I said, please give me a chance to see her. Just one chance. I just want to see her one time, to hold her and kiss her. And I did.
A mother's wish realized, a family reunited.
She sadly said, I can finally die with peace now, knowing in my heart that I know who she is and everything is good. So all is right with the world.
Oh, you're my baby, my baby.
They leave Gate A grateful to be saying hello this time rather than goodbye. In Tampa, Laurie Davison, Bay News 9.
I'd say 20 years ago, I had this idea. I'd love to live in a little cottage near the water and have a couple cats and just paint.
For years, Laurie Anspach was living that dream, working as a commercial artist, but she wanted more.
One day I had the idea I wanted to paint for people that it had a lot of meaning. And I wondered, well, who would they be?
The answer came when she volunteered to paint people going through tough times. Military members deployed overseas, foster children looking for families, and children battling cancer.
I feel that these families really, really have earned our support and backup and have been painting for them ever since.
Laurie started a nonprofit organization, Painting for Good Causes. She recruits artists from all over the country to paint portraits free for special families.
For me personally, I first engage myself in the person or the people that I'm painting.
So with each stroke of her brush, Laurie is getting to know the Lion family. 2-year-old Addie is a cancer survivor. As Laurie paints Addie with her older brother and sister, she looks for deeper meaning.
Like a portrait of more than one figure is a puzzle. And it's where one person leaves off, the other one person starts. And to me, this very much communicates their feelings for each other, their closeness, their family.
Are you excited?
The Lions arrive at Laurie's house eager to pick their portrait up.
Hi. Say hi. Say hi. Come on in.
Their eyes light up as they see themselves captured on canvas.
That captures a moment where we were at Camp Sunshine, a camp that specializes in pediatric oncology and other childhood illnesses. And it was such a blessing for our family to have been there. So to have a painting that encapsulates all of that is really a neat thing to hold on to.
For her part, Laurie wants to give the Lions something else to hold on to: hope.
I put those wishes into the painting, so to speak, because I know that the power of positive thinking does make an effect.
I was so happy to do it. It is so perfect. Such a lovely family. Thank you.
While the family is leaving with a painting, Laurie says the gift is truly hers, bringing the joy of her art to others.
And I will forevermore do it until I'm no longer here.
In Clearwater, Laurie Davison, Bay News 9.
Tristan is he's just like a little part of me. Like, I can't believe I made him.
We tried a good 3-4 years, 2 rounds of IVF finally the second one hit.
Jeremy and Viviana Graham call the birth of their 1-year-old son Tristan a miracle. From the minute he was born, they've documented every moment with pictures, each month celebrated in a montage on his nursery wall.
I mean, he's my world.
That all changed when Tristan was 4 months old. The couple was at home with him when he had a seizure.
The only thing I was thinking of is my child okay? That's the only thing.
Tristan was rushed to the hospital where doctors diagnosed a brain bleed.
We just thought they were trying to figure out what was wrong with him. And we later found out every test that they ran on him was to prove that it was child abuse.
Days later, Jeremy, a former paramedic of the year, was arrested for aggravated child abuse.
When I got accused, and I was scared to go out of my house. I was scared to go to my local Publix. I was scared to go to my local gym. I was ashamed.
While the case was under investigation, Jeremy was only allowed short visits, so the couple had to live apart for nearly 8 months.
I lost months, precious months, milestones, first words, first babbling, Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's.
Eventually, the Grahams hired their own medical experts who determined that Tristan has a chronic medical condition that likely caused the bleeding. Those 2 doctors said they found no evidence that he was a victim of child abuse.
Basically, they all called it smoking guns. Basically, I was accused for no reason.
Pinellas County Sheriff Bob Gualtieri couldn't talk about the Grahams case specifically, but he says child protection investigators are obligated to look into families when allegations are made.
There is a whole bunch of eyes on every single case. There's multiple levels, multiple reviews, and I know that we're doing it very well. The investigators are doing a great job here in Pinellas County to make sure that the kids stay safe.
The state attorney's office decided not to move forward with the case, and the charges against Jeremy were dropped. In June, he was allowed to live with his wife and son again full-time.
I was really scared of losing my bond with him, but immediately I could tell that we didn't, and it was just great to hold him in my arms. It really was.
Still, he says the experience left scars.
It'll always be with me. I'll always be the person that got accused of child abuse, I think, and that's just the way it is. I just have to deal with it.
But the couple says Tristan is happy and healthy, and they're together, so all is right in their world again. In Pinellas County, Laurie Davison, Bay News 9.